Hey guys, so today I've got a quick little hip mobility routine for you, and it's all going to be on the floor. So if you have a mat, go ahead and grab it, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off in a 90-90 position, which basically is just referring to both of our knee joints. So we got 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here, basically making an S on the ground. We want to turn and face this front leg, so completely turning our torso like we're completely facing this direction and nothing's even going on back here. Now from here, we're going to just start to fold over this front leg, kind of similar to pigeon stretch. And so we just want to take it slow right now. We want to just sink into this. And what we're going to do is first find our end range, and then we're going to add some strength at that end range. So right now, we're just finding our end range. We're just breathing, sinking a little deeper and deeper. And just relax into it right now. Let's take one more deep breath together. Okay, now wherever your hands are, take them out to the sides here. Now they can stay here if you need them to, or they can lift up completely. I'll show you each version. So we're going to start to lift our torso by pressing this front leg into the ground. So start to press this leg down and feel your torso start to lift all the way back up to seated. Now we're going to pull back down by pulling with our inner thigh and our abdominal muscles. So we're not just falling, we're actively pulling ourselves back down to this end range. Now let's go again. This time I'm going to lift my hands and press this front leg into the floor to lift up. And now again, pull with your inner thigh back down into this position. Let's go again. Let's lift whatever version you're working on. The thing is, we want to go really slow here. I mean, you can do these really fast. You can do them without intention, without thinking about pressing the leg into the floor or pulling yourself down with your inner thigh, but you're not going to get even close to the benefits that you could get if you were actually focusing and really working on this oppositional strength. So now let's go one more time. Pull yourself back down into the stretch. And then when we get down here, we're just going to stretch again. So now we maybe opened up a new range of motion. Maybe we can get slightly deeper. But we're definitely starting to feel a little bit more mobile. So let's just hang out here for one more breath. And then just go ahead and use your hands and press yourself back up to seated. Now we're going to work with the back leg. So we're going to lift this back leg and bring it to the front. Try not to use your hands, but if you need to, you can put your hands here. You can set them back here behind you, whatever you got to do. The goal is to get to this point, but we'll get there gradually. So start to lift this back leg. Everything lifts at once. Foot and shin and knee lifts as high as you can. And it's going to rotate and come forward, and then we're going to tuck under that front leg and press this knee open. Now we're going to go back the way we came. So lift this leg up. Try to lift up through the foot and the ankle just as much as the knee. Rotate it around. Keep it all high and try to set it down at the same time. Let's go again. Let's lift. So we're squeezing right here, these muscles, and then tuck. Press open. Let's go again. Let's go back. Lift through that foot. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And then set it down. Let's do one more like this. Lift up. And tuck it under. Open that knee up. And now we just got to finish this one all the way back down. Now I do want you to put your hands down for this next part. So one hand on the inside, one hand on the outside of this front leg. And we're going to lift just the foot, just the ankle. So start to lift this foot, squeeze right here. You should feel this light up and then lower down. And again, lift, hold, and lower. And if you have any cramping, just kick that leg out, straighten it out. You can even hit it a few times with your hands, kind of loosen up and lower down. Let's do one more. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer. So lift and hold and squeeze. And now focus right here. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. Okay, now for our rotators. So we're going to start to open this leg up first. Keep this leg down as long as possible until you can't leave it down anymore. Then it lifts, and we're going to rotate all the way to this other side. Now let's go back. Lift this back leg first. This front leg stays down as long as you can before we finally switch over. Let's go again. Lift, and then this leg follows all the way to the other side and back. Lift, and the other leg follows. Now we're going to add a little to this. So we get back to this position. Now I want you to pop up onto your shin and onto this knee. Push these hips forward and then sit back down. And let's go back. Lift and rotate. And now we're here and we're going to pop it up. Shove those hips forward. Feel the stretch right here on this guy. And let's go back again. Sit it back down. Rotate around and pop it up. Let's do one more, and you'll probably cover some ground on these. I tend to inch farther and farther forward. And let's pop up and then have a seat. Now we're in this other position, perfect to get the other side. So just get yourself resituated. Check your 90-90s, make sure everything's nice and lined up. Now start to twist your torso over this front leg. Nice proud chest. And then let's just find our stretch. So just like we did on the other side, we're just relaxing here. We're breathing, sinking deeper. Don't go past your limits here, guys. You're only going to do yourself a disservice. Just gradually sink into it. We want a little bit of uncomfortableness, but not like a pain or anything crazy like that. So if you feel anything pinching or it's just unbearable, back off a little bit. If you practice gradually and with intention, you will find greater ranges of motion. It just has to be gradual. And it has to be at your own pace. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Okay, now either keeping the hands down for support or lifting the hands up. Press this front shin down into the floor to lift all the way back up to seated. Now we're going to pull back down. So pull through the inner thigh, pull through the abs to close this gap. All the way back down. Now again, press and lift. Press the leg into the floor. And now pull back down with control. Let's do two more. Press to lift. And pull to lower back down. We got one more. Press down into the floor. And then pull yourself back down. Oh, and then when we get down there, we can just go back and do our stretch. You can do whatever you want with your hands, whatever's comfortable. Right now, we're just resting again, just enjoying any new range that we might have found. And just breathing. All right, and on your next inhale, go ahead and sit yourself back upright. Okay, so now we're going to work on this back leg. So lifting this whole leg at once, up off the floor, rotate around, tuck this toe under, open that knee up. Let's go back. Lift. Remember, we're lifting up through the ankle here as much as the knee. Rotating. Setting it all back down at the same time. Let's go again. Lift. Focus on these muscles here. And tuck and open the knee. Let's go back. Lift. Keep it high as you can until it's time to set it down. Let's go again. Lift. And tuck, and open. Last time, going back, lift up through that inner ankle, rotate around, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, and set it down. Okay, now hands are going to come down for this next part. We're going to lift this back ankle up. So facing forward, squeeze, lift, and lower, and squeeze. You might even be able to see my muscles activating right here to lift that foot and lower. It might not be a muscle you're used to using, so that's why we do these. Lift, squeeze. So yeah, if it feels uncomfortable, if you get cramps, it's just because you're not used to using this muscle in this capacity. So just give it time. Same as always. We'll get there gradually. And let's lift one more time, and we're going to hold. So hold, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Focus on everything all through here. 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. And now let's go through our rotators again one more time, just because we got some more range. We just want to make sure everything is even here. So let's start to lift our top leg, and then our back leg joins, and we come over, pop up on the knees, sit it back down, and let's go back the way we came. Across, and pop, and back down. Let's do 2 more. One this way, trying to keep your torso nice and upright as much as possible, especially through this middle part right here. I want to stay nice and tall, and lift. And you can use your hands on that lift as well. Whatever you got to do. And now let's just stop in the center. Kick both those legs out and just do a little shake. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, I hope your hips are feeling more mobile. Mine definitely are. And if you're getting any tightness or anything in the lower back, just take a moment. Let's hold a child's pose. Let's do it together. Flip on over. And just send your arms out, send your hips back. This is just a relaxation pose. Sometimes when we use those muscles on the back side of that hip, it can kind of travel up into our lower back, which isn't a bad thing. We need lower back strength just like we need strength in every other part of our body. But we just want to let it relax out. All right, let's go ahead and walk the hands in under the shoulders. And I always like to finish with a nice forward fold to roll up. It's just a nice ending to our little practice here. So just hang your head for a second. And now let's start to roll it up. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, and then just follow the curve of the spine all the way up. Let's take a big deep breath in. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that little hip opener, and I look forward to seeing you next time.